Can you really make money online? Are these gurus just like faking this whole thing? Is it a scam? Like, what is going on here? And if so, then what are the pros and the negatives of making money online?
I brought my friend Famke here.
Yeah.
I'm a social media manager working with US startups, and I've tried this online thing, and I want to talk about the pros and cons, the realities. And I thought it would also be great to have someone who's also in this space.
Yeah, so my name is Famke Grundman, and I own an e-commerce agency, and I work with e-commerce brands in the States, and I've scaled it to over 18K USD per month.
Okay, let's get into it. So I chatted about this on my Instagram stories. I asked people on this topic, what questions would they like me to cover in this video? So I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions.
What are some misconceptions people have about how much money they can make online? And is it really the reality that all these gurus and all these money claims that they're saying, is that really the reality, or are they just selling us?
I think it's a complicated one, and I think it depends on which gurus, right? But for me, the ones I see, the make money online, make 5,000 Rand a day, or make 10,000 in 30 minutes, or make 6 figures in a day or a week, I think that is really exaggerated. It's just for clicks, and I'm not sure who's still clicking on those videos, but like I'm tired of that content personally, because I think that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just, for me personally, I don't trust people that don't tell you the downsides, the cons. Like, I feel like even in all my old YouTube videos, I would always say, these are the pros, these are the cons. Like, I think it's important to talk about the downsides so that someone can make an empowered decision whether or not it's for them. Don't trick them by leaving things out. Yeah. So I think they exaggerate a lot, because I think they're trying to get the clicks, they're trying to get the views. Maybe they want to help people and hype it up, but I think you rather be honest, and people will know, will make their own decision. Yeah.
Okay, so on top of that, then, how much is the most that you've seen people make, and how much is the least that you've seen people make? Worst case scenario. Yeah, like, what is the earning potential of becoming a social media manager?
The earning potential is great, right? So obviously the least would be nothing. If you take my course, you don't apply anything, you don't make any effort, you maybe apply for one job and you give up, obviously then you're going to be stuck at zero.
Yeah.
Right? That's the floor, the bottom. The most I've seen is someone making 75,000 Rand monthly after doing my course. That's the highest. Yeah, and that's a beginner. So when I say the most, obviously beginners, that's the most I've seen a beginner make.
Yeah. That is, I don't know anyone making 75K. I know some people, but then after tax. So how does it work? Like, do they have to pay tax?
Yeah, they do. You do, but then it's not the same as income tax. So obviously with income tax, you'll pay as your money comes in, you pay as you earn. But when you work as a freelancer, it's completely different, right? You pay as a provisional taxpayer, it's like a whole thing. And I go very deep in my course of how it works for freelancers. But basically, you're almost like a business. So you have business expenses and you'll deduct that. So it's not automatically 30% of 75,000. Yeah.
And outside of your course, how much have you seen people make with this career field outside of the course?
What do you mean?
Like,
so I'm referencing my students who've taken my courses.
Yeah.
So you mean other people?
Yeah. What's possible? I basically want to know what's possible.
I don't know. So for me, I don't get off of like saying you can make 100,000 Rand with this career. I don't get off of that, because also I don't think people will even think that that's realistic for them or believable for them. What I want to say is what you can expect typically as a beginner. For me, if you're just starting out, 75K, that was maybe a special circumstance. On average, I'd seen like 16K to 25K per month, right? For me, that's good. That's a good salary for someone who's at home, unemployed, doesn't have a degree. I've seen my students be very happy to land a client who's paying them 20,000 Rand every month, right? So for me, I don't get off of like, this is the most you can make, because that obviously only a certain amount of people can make that. But for me, the average, or what I see people make, is like 16 to 25K when you're just starting out. Obviously, as you get 3 months experience, 6 months experience, 1 year experience, it goes up and up and up. But I really want to tell people to rather not, if you're motivated by the fact that you can make 1 million Rand, you're never going to start, right? Like, if the only reason you want to do this is because you think you're going to make 1 million Rand, you're never going to get off of the ground. You're never going to start. First, figure out how to make $1 from the internet. Figure out how to get someone to pay you $100, $1,000, right? Like, your first $1,000 for me, oh my God, are the
yeah.
most, they prove that this is real. So figure out how to make your first $1,000, because when you make $1,000 from the internet, it's your life. For me, that's when my life changed. It's not when I got a big check and my biggest client, and it wasn't that. That's not when my life changed. My life changed from when I was working as an engineer. Now I made $1,000 on the internet doing social media. Like what? That was the biggest thing. So for me, I think rather focus on getting that first $1,000, because those big claims, they make people feel like all excited that, the dopamine hits and whatever. But then when it's time to do the work, that motivation is lost very quickly.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for me, rather get going, figure out how to make your first $1,000 and then build from there.
Yeah. I like this where you set real expectations of what you can expect, right? Because we see some people making very crazy claims that are too far-fetched. So I really, really like that, right? I just wanted to know in terms of, for those that are like, I love being creative. This is the perfect role for me. Is it capped? Is it not? Like, besides what's the average, I want to know what is possible in this industry. Like, what I'm able to make if I keep working hard and hard. Like, it's not capped at a certain amount. For those that, like, really enjoy this and they want to take this, like, permanent career change, what is possible out there, and not what's the average of people coming in and being social media manager for 9 months and then this is how much they're making. Like,
okay, I can answer that one,
Yeah.
because we had a student who came in as a social media manager but really wanted to dial down and push it further and decided to start an agency. Actually hired one of the students, so she's already starting an agency. So for me now it really goes crazy, because
Yeah.
you're not just leveraging your time, you're leveraging other people's time, and you're like, the sky is, I don't say the sky is the limit,
Yeah.
but you can do whatever,
Yeah.
right? And the money that you can make in this, you can then invest that capital in, do another business, and you just keep building and building.
Yeah.
And so for me, the big problem with like having jobs is that you can't make those big jumps at a job, right? You can't go from $1,000 to $10,000 to $30,000 to $100,000 in a year. Whereas in our industry, that's very common. People, we make our first 1,000, then you're like, oh my God, this is possible. Then you're like, okay, let me go for 10,000, and then you make 10,000. Oh my God, this is possible. But then the time frame is like shorter. I think actually, and tell me what you think. It took me the longest time to go from 1,000, from 0 to 1,000 took years.
Yeah.
But from like 1,000 to 10,000 is quicker. 10,000 it's quicker. So
Yeah.
the first $1,000 is the one that takes the longest amount of time, because you have to deal with, is this real? Is this the right one? All this back and forth, right? That's why I keep saying, just make your first $1,000, because once you've done that, then repeat that 10.
It's easy to build momentum.
Yeah. Do you agree with that though?
100%. Like, I didn't even make $1,000 online on my first. I made $50. So
Is $50 your first?
Yeah.
And how did that feel?
It felt amazing. Like, I was like, what the hell? Like, somebody sent me, what if I just take this money and not do the job?
They sent it to you before you even did the work.
I was like, this is insane that people are doing this. I felt like this is
So do you also feel like that's when this flip switched?
Yeah.
And then how quick from $50 to 1,000?
It was quick. I don't remember the in between, but like from 50, I remember the 50 and then the 1,000. I don't remember the in between. Yeah.
And then from 1,000 to 10,000, quicker?
No, for me, that took like 8 to 9 months, from like 1,000 to 10,000.
But you were starting also a very difficult business model, which is the agency model. So you were like, I want the biggest opportunity.
Yeah.
Because if you were straight a freelancer, you would have gotten it quicker. Because I didn't struggle with that because I was freelancing. Yeah.
With the freelancing, it's different. With an agency,
Yeah.
What are the difficulties of freelancing? Okay, now you have a job, you found a contract or client that you're working with. What difficulties comes up?
Okay, so I'm already freelancing. What's difficult? One, you have to manage your time well, right? Especially if you're working remote. Like, still wake up in the morning, shower, bath, be a professional, sit down. There's no one to chase you. So I think a lot of people, they actually like corporate because they're told where to be, what time to be there, what to do. That's how we're programmed from school to adulthood. We're just told where to be, what to do. And when you're a freelancer, you have to do that. You have to take care of your finances. You must keep track of all your business expenses. The responsibility becomes yours. I love that though. But yeah, it will be different for you if you've never done that. If you've never taken charge of figuring out your taxes, figuring out your expenses, that's going to be on you. What other difficulties? Yeah, for some people, the freedom is like tricky because it's like too many options. They don't know what to do. So I say, just have a schedule, plan your life, do that. Another difficulty is working with difficult clients and sometimes staying with the client longer than you should and realizing that you're a freelancer, you get to choose who you work with. So it can happen that you get a nightmare of a client and you hate your life as much as you did when you were working. So for me, ditch that client. Like, don't stay with clients longer than you should. Once you start realizing that this client is not for you, start looking for another one so that you can let them go and go to the other client. Because working with good clients, like, your life will be a dream.
The bad ones.
They'll make you hate your life, and it can even end up feeling worse than corporate.
Can you talk about the practical steps someone can take before quitting their 9 to 5 so that they're prepped before getting in online?
Practical steps. I would say figure out like how much money do you need to survive? Like, what are your true expenses? What are your true bills? I know most of us avoid and run away from our bills, but you need to know how much does your life actually cost, and then probably add like an extra 20 to 30% of that. Like, definitely know how much money do you actually need? What can you remove? Possibly downgrade. I think the biggest thing is, what are the things that you can downgrade? You need to sell your car. What are things that you can let go of so that that monthly number becomes less and less? And once you know how much money you need to make, then save up if you can. I mean, I didn't. Many of us didn't. But if you can save up 6 months of that amount, something like that. Especially the major bills. Maybe you won't be able to save up for every single thing, but your major bills, rent, definitely rent.
Oh,
rent is the big one. Yeah, rent, and anything that, like, if you have a car loan or anything like that, make sure you have money to pay those for at least, I'd say, a year. But something is better than 6 months. Most of us didn't, right? Like, I didn't do that. I just quit.
Me too.
Practical steps, I'd say, just know how much money does your life cost. How much money do you actually need every month, and that'll help you even when you get clients to know that, okay, no, if you're offering me this won't sustain my life. So I'd say that's the most important thing. And then downgrade as many things as you can.
Yeah, for at least 6 months. So like how much your toiletries cost, how much your canned food is.
And I'd say also, like, talk to your money spending friendships. So some of us have friendships where the friendship is built on going to restaurants, vacations, partying, clubbing. Just let them know, hey guys, I'm going on this journey and I don't think I'll be able to go out as often as I used to with you guys. I love you, don't mean any harm. If you want to see me, come visit me. I can come visit you. Change the nature of those friendships or get rid of them altogether, because the last thing you need when you are trying to change your life is people inviting you all the time to things that you can't afford. Baby showers, weddings, restaurants, birthday dinners. Just tell everyone before they even start asking you those questions, so it doesn't seem like because it's going to happen. Someone's going to say, hey, I'm getting married, please be my bridesmaid, and now you have to explain. So rather just explain to everybody up front. I'm going on this for the next 2 years. I don't have any money. This is what I'm doing. And so, I'm really cash strapped. I would love to maintain this friendship with you, but it's going to have to be in free methods, going for hikes, visiting each other, watching Netflix. And don't invite me to be your bridesmaid.
That is so smart. Letting people know up front.
Some of your friendships won't survive because some of your friendships were based on spending money at restaurants, vacations. So some of them won't survive, and just be prepared for that. And also, like, mute certain people that spend a lot of money but they trigger you. So your friends who are always on vacation, always shopping, you don't want to unfollow them. They're your friends, but maybe just mute them, because in the next year or two, you can't be halelaring to be buying stuff. Like, you're about to go into reducing your lifestyle. And I think that it makes it hard when you see people spending money, doing things. Just mute them for now and just mentally prepare yourself that, okay, people are going to be spending money, going on vacations, going shopping, getting their hair and nails done. Just mute them and just avoid that type of content, and just only listen to entrepreneurship content, personal development content, motivational content, and just zone in on that and just tune out everything else.
Yeah, that is such good advice.
Maybe learn how to do your own nails, learn how to do your own hair.
That is such good advice. I really like it.
What is that? I think it's the bottle.
Yeah, it's the water bottle. I really like the part where you're saying, like, mute everyone out just so you don't have any FOMO. Like, that is the worst.
Because you're gonna have it. I had it. December is the worst. People are on vacation. People are going on leave. It's the worst. It's gonna come. Just prepare for it, and you'll survive, man. You'll be fine.
Doctor in the Move asked the same question, which was basically how to set up your finances to be able to eventually leave your job. You answered that as well. So Suzette wants to know. I would like to know
one of my
how you
students.
buy a car on credit as a freelancer. Is it easy? Do you have to save up first?
It's tricky. It's definitely a tricky one, and I'm no financial advisor, so it's much easier to buy a car if you have a payslip and a salary and a regular job. It's not impossible, but it's different as a freelancer. The first thing you need to do is make sure your credit is So if you have debts to pay, bills, debts and things like that, if your credit score is bad, you can't get credit. And that applies for even for working people. So the first thing would be sort out your credit, make sure you can get credit. Maybe you've applied for a cell phone or something like that, and you know that when you apply for things, your credit score is okay. Fix your credit, first step. Second step, you're going to apply basically as a self-employed person. So you'll have to have several months of your bank statements, your client invoices, things like that to show how much money you make. And yeah, that's basically where the process will start. But then yeah, you'll basically be applying as a self-employed person.
Lorato is asking the hardships of starting from the bottom, not knowing if your business is going to prosper.
I must talk about the hardships.
Yeah. So speak on the hardships that you went through before knowing that, okay, social media management, is it even going to work out? What are you going to go through? What they can expect to go through and what you went through before it popped off?
For me, the hardship was definitely took way longer than I ever thought. Like I thought it would just be a quick thing. And for me, because I was doing all the wrong things. I didn't have a course. I didn't have a community. I was just on my own. So that definitely, I contributed to it taking longer than usual. But yeah, also not preparing for the best case scenario. Prepare for the worst case scenario. So like, let's say it's going to take you 3 years to replace your previous salary or whatever. Is that okay with you? Because if you're only okay to do it if it's 6 months, then you're preparing for the best case instead of the worst case. So prepare for the worst case scenario. I didn't. For me, it was like I kept getting shocked that like, but it's been a year.
Yeah.
It kept shocking me because I didn't consider the worst case scenario. Maybe I'm too optimistic in life. I also the friends and seeing people continue. So you've basically stopped, right? You were on a path. Climbing the corporate ladder, lifestyle inflation, you were doing something and then you've stopped the rat race, and people are continuing. So people are going to buy houses, people are going to get promotions, people are going to get a master's degree, get this, people are going to continue, whereas it feels like your life has stopped because you're doing something new that eats you up. So yeah, for me, what didn't bother me, but I know it bothers a lot of people, is doubting like whether they should be an entrepreneur or not. I didn't doubt. I was like, I'm doing this, like there's no other, I'm not like, going back is not an option for me. I think it really messes up your journey if you're in between, like you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like in your mind, be like, I'm all in, because you've quit your job. So you kind of have to be all in at this point. Don't be like trying to like start a business, but you're also applying for jobs, but you're starting a business and you also apply. If you're 1 foot in, 1 foot, that like push pull is going to like waste time. Just decide you're all in and this is what I've chosen and I'm going to see it through. Also give yourself a timeline, like say, okay, I give myself 18 months. If in 18 months I've not learned anything, there's no progress, then I will. So at least I'm all in for 18 months. And in that 18 months, then maybe you can give up. I don't know. But just be all in. So yeah.
I find that people that are also all in tend to see the best results because there's no plan B.
There's no plan B.
There's nothing. So you're literally pulled against the wall and you're forced to like work and see it through. Those people always see the best results. I think that's why Kay also saw the best results. I also saw the best results because for us it was like,
I'm not applying for masters. I'm not applying for jobs. I'm only doing this.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no like side hustle that you're doing which keeps you up because you're not dividing your energy. You can't compete with me and Kay. This is all that we're doing every single day. It's going to be very impossible for you. So just pick one thing, stick to it, see it through, and go all in, and it's bound to happen. Yeah. That's what I believe. Yeah. What are the negatives of being your own boss?
The negatives of being your own boss: stress, responsibility, especially if you're smart, right? Even if you don't want to start an agency, you're a social media manager, get an assistant, right? Your cousin, whatever, hire someone that can do some of the tasks. That way you can juggle multiple clients, right? That's not really starting a full-blown agency. You're just getting an assistant, and you can be able to juggle multiple clients. So that's a good move to make. But then now you're hiring people. Now you're responsible. Now people are depending on you. The negatives of being your own boss, it's just the stress of being responsible for yourself, for providing. There's no guarantee, right, that next month you'll get paid. So yeah, it's quite tough. The responsibility, the fear, but I know that people who have jobs also have their own fears. So for me, it's not that bad, but it's a different type of fear of like, okay, I'm in charge now, and I know that freaks some people out. But also you don't have to hire, right? You can just stay working for yourself. Another negative of being your own boss, I don't think of many because I love it, right? This is my personality type. It suits me very well, being your own boss. I don't know. Do you have one?
Yeah, I do. For me, it is, like you said, the responsibility of knowing that you are in charge of somebody else's salary,
Mm.
and the fact that, for instance, you're hiring a mom and she's a single mom, and the pressure of fulfilling that can be a lot sometimes. And there's a negative, but there's also a positive, because that makes you go even harder, because you know that you are responsible for Maria and she has a child, and you can't just be like, well, I give up,
Yeah. I think it
Yeah.
makes it harder to quit, which is a good
Yes,
thing.
which is a good
It's a
thing.
good thing, but yeah, sometimes, when you're just working by yourself, you can be like, I don't want to do this. I quit, I stop.
Yeah.
But now you have a team, you have people relying on you. It's not as easy to just give up, which
Yeah.
is a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say another negative for me is that it's really lonely.
Yeah.
It can be really, really lonely, and it can be really hard making friends. Already as an adult, it's hard making friends. But now when you have a business, it's really hard making friends and keeping up those relationships. Also, sometimes I feel really masculine, the fact that I'm doing this. Like, uh, yeah. I think it's also, I would rather do this than come from a situation where I was financially manipulated, somebody else was taking care of me. So I know both sides of it, and I would choose the side over being financially manipulated. Oh, you can't use my card, bring my card back. I was in that situation where everybody's like, become a stay-at-home wife, and do the slay queen stuff, and have somebody else be in charge of your money. It is the absolute worst thing, and I don't recommend it for anyone. And that's why I recommend, as a woman, always have your own money.
You have to.
Because once somebody has the power in a relationship, they can take advantage of it, and most people take advantage of it. So I think it's really great having some control over your finances. So yeah, it's lonely, but I would choose this and feeling this way over somebody else having like a dangle, and I'm just a puppet in their story, and I can't even like go do my hair. I have to like wait and like asking for money, like, please give me some money. It's like, I know what that's like. The worst feeling ever. So I would rather have control over, I can make this amount of money and I can do my own hair and I can send money back home. I enjoy this feeling, even though it can be very stressful. Yeah, I would say those two.
Yeah. I think the loneliness of it all as well.
Yeah.
And remember, my biggest flaw was not investing in community. So I really thugged it out all by myself. And I didn't know anyone that was doing what I was doing. I met some people in SA, but they weren't on the same
Path
level. Like I'm like bigger, more. Then I met you, and so that's great.
Yeah. Motivating yourself is always really it's really, really tough.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the positives then?
Oh, being your own boss. Oh my God. So obviously I feel free. I feel in charge of my life. I feel like I'm the captain of my own ship, and I can do whatever I want in this world. Like there are times I just can't believe this is real, and that I'm free, and that I don't have to ask for leave, and I can free. Like I know people say financial freedom, or for me it's not even about financial freedom. Time freedom is very important to me. I want to choose, like I didn't like how in corporate, if you want to go to the dentist or the doctor or run an errand, you have to because some places close at 5. So if you're at work until 5, I didn't understand how does that even work? There are things that just don't make sense to me. How are you getting 20, 21 days of leave? No, it doesn't make sense to me. How are shops closing at 5 but you knock off at 5? So then when must you go? So must you get leave to run errands? I don't understand that. I love shopping during the week, like Tuesday morning when the shops are empty. Love it. I love working from home. My son is I spend more time with him when he's home. He's in school now, but there was a good chunk of time where a good year I'm working from home and my son wasn't in school yet, and I'm in the same house as my child, and my study looks over the gardens. I'll be working and I can see him playing and he's safe. As a mom, that paranoia of is my child even okay? So I'm home and I can see him playing.
With the nanny cams.
So I'm always home. During lunch breaks I can go get a kiss, get a cuddle, but that also can be hard sometimes because he's like, mommy, don't go, and I'm like, I have to work. But I know that that's way better than if I was in office the whole day. At least I did see him for 30 minutes. So that was a big one for me, being able to spend, especially in the first 2 years of my son's life, I was home with him even though I was working, and I'm making money and I'm home with my child, and he's safe, and
the best of both
worlds. And then just feeling I can afford myself and I can buy whatever I want. And if I'm not happy with my standard of living and I want a higher standard of living, okay, work harder, get more clients. Like I know, okay, I'm in charge. Like I don't have to wait for someone to give me a raise. I don't have to beg and prove with my performance review that I deserve to make more money. I'm like, I want to make more. Okay, I'm at this level. I want to be at this level. Okay, what do I need to do? And then I do it, and then it can actually happen. And I love that. And also, business surprises you. So as much as I was surprised that it took long, there were financial milestones that just happened, and I was just like, what's happening? Like everything just speeds up sometimes. So I don't want to say that it happens overnight. So it takes really long. But when things start happening, you know, and just be careful when things start happening. It's not doubt it. Don't ruin it. Still work harder. Remember what got you there. Don't take your gas off the wheel when things are taking off.
Because it's so easy to do that.
Yeah,
it's
like
so
don't slack, splurging, spending your money.
It's so easy to do that. And just to add on top of that, a positive for me is just like the world that we're in is so insane that when I actually started making money, I was like, what the like this is even possible online. Like the world that I come from is very different to like the online space, right, which we're coming from. I didn't have the experience that Kay has, which was going to corporate. For me, it was like go to university, go in office, and that is what I was expecting. So when this dropped on me, I was like, this is insane that you can make this much. I make way more than my parents, and I'm not even working as hard as they are. Yes, I'm working hard. I don't want to give the impression that you won't work hard, but if I think of like the things that my dad are doing, driving every day. My dad is like a shuttling business, driving every day, and my mom has to like, I'm just like, yeah, no, I'll choose this any day. I'm sorry. It's equally as hard, but just with what's possible, it's like, I still can't believe it, honestly.
For me, I don't mind the hard work. I just want to get more out for my hard work. And I feel like in corporate, you're working hard, but then you're capped. Whereas here, you can work hard, but then be rewarded.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, in the beginning, you're working hard and not making any money while you're learning a skill. You're grinding and learning all these skills, not making any money. But when you finally do start making money, your hard work is rewarded financially. Whereas sometimes in corporate, you're not rewarded. Yeah. Right? Like your work, we all know people. I just want to move this camera a bit, Famke. Yeah. We all know people who work so hard in corporate and they just won't get promoted because their boss is jealous of them, the toxic environment, and you have to move to a different company to earn more. We know all these stories.
Do you ever feel guilty for how much money you make?
No.
Especially, I'm going to be so honest. This is something that I was thinking of. Sometimes I feel really guilty that I'm making this amount of money and seeing how many people are struggling. Like, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I thought, yeah. I sort of feel like,
but that's why we're doing
guilty. Like,
but aren't we doing something about it?
Yeah. I just wanted to ask in like your personal case where
I don't feel good if I'm rich and I'm rich by myself.
Yeah.
And my African brothers and sisters, like I made it out. Toodaloo, bye. I wouldn't feel good if I was just a social media manager and I made all this money. Because people ask me, why would she teach what she's doing? Why would she share? Because then I would feel guilty that I know of an opportunity, that I know there's enough clients. Guys, I can't handle all the clients in the world. There's too many. Also, there are some of them are in industries that I'm not interested in. Like,
exactly.
You know, so I'm saying that I would feel guilty if I was a social media manager only and I'm making racks on racks and I'm running an agency and I'm just ignoring South Africa's problems. Yeah. So what helps my guilt is knowing that I'm helping. I'm like, guys, come, there's plenty. Come over, let's make money. So that helps me a lot. That's why I actually do this. People are always like, why would they share why would they teach what they do? Because
like I'm better.
And I feel like white people and other races, Indians, they're better at sharing their knowledge and community and business. They have this like putting each other on culture. And here we have this jealousy culture. No, don't tell people your business. Don't share. Don't you oversharing. Why are you telling people how much money you earn? Why are you So we're trying to change that, right?
Yeah. 100%. So I want to ask on top of that then, do you ever feel guilty for like being the friend that makes it and then like you see the friends that you came up with and they're like still struggling and they're like
I did.
I know you give them, some of them you give them access to the course, all of that. We all know that you can give people access to the course, but sometimes if you don't pay for something.
Yeah,
This is why
it's
I
my
would
new
never,
rule
ever,
now. I'm never giving anyone my course for free
No,
ever
I would never,
again.
ever
Like
do
all the
that.
people that I ever gave my course for free didn't finish it, didn't get a client. Like I'm like, don't you
People
respect
don't
me?
appreciate free
Yeah,
stuff.
so
And I
that's
will
also,
never.
it can't be free because you won't
Yeah.
take it seriously. There are people who save up for my course for months. I had someone who messaged me in May and joined in December,
Yeah.
saved up the whole year to do it,
Yeah.
and she's, you know, serious about it, pushing.
Yeah.
So I did try help my friends. I tried to put them on. I tried, but like you can't. Yeah, I'm not about that life anymore. If you want my course, there's the website www. You can buy it like everybody else,
Yeah.
and I don't overdo things for people anymore. Like, so I tried that. It doesn't work. Like all the rich people say, if you try help your friends and family, everybody has always said that. But
Yeah.
obviously you have to try. I did try, and it's okay. Like for me, I'm like, if it's not for you, it's okay. Like I'm really okay with that. I don't feel like I don't have any hard feelings about it. I'm just like, I'm not giving it away for free ever again. So don't ever, like no one must ever ask me. I'll never give it for free to anyone ever under any circumstance. Because I also think it's not helping them either.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
you
not
need to actually pay to take action. Because
Yeah.
if you don't, even for me, I know this because people have put me on to like free stuff. Even people will be like, take this free course, and like, you know how some gurus in the beginning, they'll be like, take this free course, and I just never like take action on it because I don't think it's that great if it's free. Like, but actually now being on this side, it's like the instances where you actually give your best stuff for free and people are just like not taking action on it.
I've done that.
That's why I think put a price on it. Don't put stuff for free. That's my belief, and I'll stand on it because I was on the other side. We were on the other side where people were giving stuff out for free, but we never finished it. So I get it.
Yeah.
I did want to ask.
I do a bit of both though. So I have free courses because I feel like some people are skeptical. Will I get scammed? Is this real? And I want to prove I'm damn good at what I do. I'm damn good at what I do, and I'll give it away for free. And you'll see for yourself and you'll join. And I've got many, many people who've joined from the free course into the paid course and they do results. I see all my students. They started with a lot of them, not all of them. A lot of them start with the free course and then come into the paid one. So yeah, I love. Actually, I have a new free training. Check it out in the description box below. Fire really training. It's my best stuff. I think I charged 500 Rand for it. Yeah. And I decided, you know what? Let me just show people. Let me just show you how good I am at this, and then you'll see why you need to join. Because I do feel guilty that there are people who just can't afford it, right? Like no matter
that's also
no matter what, like for them they won't ever get the ticket price. So that free course, it does have enough nuggets that you can piece together what to do and move forward. So that makes me sleep good at night. I like giving away free content because I think there are people that they just deserve it, man. Like, hey, I did this for you. Here you go. Like, it's okay. If you want to join, you can. But if not, I'm glad I could help you out in one way or another. Yeah. Next video, right? We go deeper and deeper into now, like,
should you quit your job? Yeah. Is that the right thing to do?
Yeah. Yeah. And just what else did we discuss in that video? We just went deeper.
We went deeper into quitting your job and all of that.
And like, is this the right time based on the economy right now? Like, should you be learning these skills? Should you be doubling down on that? So if you want to go deeper into this topic, our next video is quite juicy. I say some things that I don't know if I should have said. I don't remember now, but I just went in. Like, I was just honest because I think I'm shy about this topic because, I talk about it in the next video. But that video is unfiltered. It's my real opinions, which I'm often scared to share, but she pushed me, and we like the point is to be honest and to be real. Like, we don't want to be those gurus who make this seem like this lifestyle that like is so amazing. We want to keep it real. Yeah. So that's my next video.
Honest. Yeah.